Hey YouTube, been a couple weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. I thought I'd do a video. Hopefully, I don't ramble too much. So I have my bikes out. Let me turn you around real quick and show you the bikes. So we have the electric in front of me. We're going to talk about a couple of things. Getting ready for your first ride, if this is what you're going to be doing, or inspecting the frame for damage and checking chain wear. So there's a couple of things we're going to do today on both bikes. You can look down here. I should have just brought down there at the derailleur, and you can see a bunch of grease built up on it, and that's not really grease. That's I wish I could get my wife to help me do this, but that ain't gonna happen. She has her own thing to do. So yeah, so I'm gonna talk about chain wear, both on a hub drive and a mid drive. This is a 7-speed, of course. All of their bikes are 7-speeds, and I have an axe to grind on with them on that, but that's not anything really you can do anything about. It is time for me to change the tires on my electric, and I'm not sure I'm going to do a video because I've done tire change videos before. I'm going back to what came on the bike stock. I bought 2 sets. That should get me through a season, at least, maybe 2. The bike is 3 years old now. It has 2,500 miles on it still. I haven't done any mileage this year. And the battery I left partially discharged over the winter. Was stored in the camper, so it was stored outside. Let's see what it says. It says it's full, but let's see, what, 50 volts. So yeah, I left it there, so it didn't really discharge much. It probably is going to show more voltage as it warms up. So longevity wise, let's talk about how the bike's held up. This is my second chain, first battery, 3 years. I haven't seen any degradation, but keep in mind, I don't discharge the battery all the way. I follow the general rules for storage and use. Sometimes I don't even charge it up all the way unless I know I'm going for a long ride. So the better you take care of it, the better it'll take care of you down the road when you need it to. The Trek's been rode a couple times this year already. Well, more than a couple, probably 5 or 6 times. Been out on the trail quite a bit. We're at about 1,100 miles, and we have the same tires on it that the bike came with, and they're not even close to needing replacing. It's just a difference in quality, I guess. Chain on it is original with 1,100 miles. Some of the reasons we're talking about chain is because we have a few people out there that are saying that they have the premium, the electric premium, that are they're already skipping with 800-900 miles on them. That's a shame. A chain should last around 1,500 to 2,000 miles on any bike, but we're going to go over what we've changed on the bike as a refresher on the electric, so you guys, the Trek is in its original form. Nothing's been changed, so we don't really need to touch much on that. But I'm going to show you guys how to check the chain tension, and I'm hoping you'll be able to see it. I mean chain tension, chain wear. Okay, the chain was changed about 1,500 miles. And just so you guys know, I'm going to stand behind the car. This is a park tool, and it's a chain checker. It only works for 7 and 8 speed. Sorry, not for 9. So you put it in your chain like this, in 2 holes. And let's see, we're going to turn it until it's the shortest. You put it into 2 holes, and you turn it. Says it's still good. Well, see down there, it's showing in the blue. It means it's good. If it's in the red, it's bad. Now you can still buy this. It's called the Park Tool Chain Checker CC-1. They make them for 9-speed too, but I don't happen to have one, and I'm doubtful I'm going to buy one for. I can do show. I'll show you how you check the chain on those. So things that we've upgraded. Is just trying to get this cap put back on a little bit. Chain. We went with a better quality chain. I don't remember exactly which one it is, but it's a little shorter than the one that was on it. I should have bought 116 links, and I bought 114 because I was too lazy to measure it. So we've got the chain we've changed. We've changed the brake cables. As you can see, they're blue. Kind of matches the blue on the bike. These are made by a company that makes Jaguar, that makes brake cables and parts. So it let me show you guys. So I'm trying to hold this. See how I can do this with a pinky, and it returns right away. See how it snaps? Bet you guys just don't do it like that. Front one's just the same way, and I'm applying brake pressure about halfway. That's going to be where your leverage point is best, is when the brake lever's like that. If you got it adjusted so you just barely touch it and it starts braking, you probably are going to run out of hand strength before you run out of before you brake. So we changed both the front and the back with Jaguar. They're the mountain set. Unfortunately, the back one was a little long. I mean short, but I did use it. So I think you need a 2,500 millimeter back chain. I mean back brake cable. Yeah, it's a long ways back there. The bike is long, so it's a long ways back there. So we changed that. We've changed pads. We have some Shimano pads on it. We've changed grips to race face. They work fairly well, but they could be better. They're locking ones, so they won't twist and you don't have to fight. Let me just tilt you up a little bit. So they lock with a washer. We changed shifters. As you can see, it has an indicator on it, and it's a trigger shifter. So this is up front is to shift down, this is up, so you have up and down. Many of you have never seen those on an electric because it's an upgrade. It is a Shimano part, Alivio, I believe, level, and it's a 7-speed because they really limit. Let me turn you around here. They limit what you can get in 7-speed now. The derailleur, that turning level derailleur's from the 80s. So we checked the chain. The next thing we're going to look at is frame. You don't really need to worry about where the fork goes through the frame because it's a big weld, it's joined well. But where we're seeing failures is down on the folding mechanism. I've seen 2 bikes now that have failed there, and what we're going to look at is I'm going to turn you back around. We're going to look at where we should check and what we should expect. So let me turn you and zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom out. We want to zoom in. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So what we're going to look at is, I'm going to get on the other side of the bike. We're going to look at this weld right here, from this side underneath, and this weld on this side, down the sides, and under on this. What we're looking for is a crack. Now, I checked mine. I don't have any cracks, but my bike is first generation, so they were probably paying a little more attention to the welds. So you're going to look at all the welds on the bike, check your brakes, make sure they're working, lube your chain, see if it needs any lube on it. Mine looks pretty dry, and it also needs a little cleaning. And I've got to get my chain cleaner out here and show you guys how to use the chain cleaner. But so I gotta turn this back around before I forget it. Oh, it's locked. That's another difference between the newer bikes and the older bikes, is that I changed the pedals too. I forgot to mention that. I have non-removable pedals on it, and that's the way it is. So we've checked all these welds. They all look good. I think it's safe to say the bike is safe to ride, but you need to look at yours. If you ride it hard, try to do crazy stunts on it, expect to start seeing cracks. They only warranty the frame for 5 years, I think. So let's, but the main concern is going to be the folding mechanism. That's where the majority of the stress on the bike is going to be. You really want to take a good look at that. Oh, I also changed the seats. I have a specialized body geometry seat. It's got a gel padding in it, and it's made for a man. Seat post is a 31.8, but I have a 31.6 in it. I also have a new shim in it. The shim goes in the seat tube, and that is for me was a problem, because at 300 pounds my seat tube still slips. I'm waiting for the mail lady to leave. I could pause it, I guess, but she shouldn't be here that long. Future upgrades for the bike will be, I'm thinking about doing all hydraulic brakes. It's $130 for a bike, but the brakes work well on it. For me, they do. Maybe not for you, but they work well for me. I also upgraded the rotors to 180. They're probably about what is on the 3.0, but so we have a semi-metallic pad with a metallic pad rated rotor. Most rotors are rated for resin, so they have to say metallic, semi-metallic brake pads on it. These are Avid ones. Avid was one of the first companies to come out with disc brakes back in the early 90s. I'm trying to remember when they came out. Early 90s. And up to that point, rim brakes were the king. You used to have to take your bike to the bike shop once in a while and get the wheels screwed. Now with disc brakes, that's not really required much. other than that, let's see. So we've upgraded the disc to 180 millimeter. We upgraded the cables, which made miles of difference. I can't tell you that the biggest thing you should consider upgrading on your bike is the cables and housings. Get rid of the crap that they put on them, and you might be a lot happier with the quality of your brake experience. I don't have any problems with shifting. They were adjusted when we replaced the shifters with the Shimano ones. I threw the other ones in the garbage. I didn't like them. Karen didn't mind them, but I didn't like them. I liked the trigger shifters much better than I do the other ones. So I got to clean the bike up. I need to get rid of the dirt off it, and I also need to redo the brakes. But I am not going to do that here in the near future, probably. If I decide to do hydraulics, I'll do them on both bikes. Karen's is in the garage, still folded. Her stated discharge was the same as mine, so we're okay. It needs to be charged before we're going to use it, but otherwise we're just going to leave it set. I had to take them out of the trailer because I got some work to do in the on some electrical problems on the trailer. I've been working on the UTV, getting it cleaned up from our experience out in the UP up around Paradise, Michigan. Talk about water. We almost made the UTV in the boat. We had the water up to the dashboard. That's how deep some of those puddles were. You're safe up to about seat level. Once you get above sea level, then you have problems. You could have problems with getting water into the cooling system for the belt and the engine. So they're about the same level. So I backed out of the hole real quick, but it didn't get anywhere where it would be dangerous. So we probably put a couple 100 miles on it while we were up there. We're probably taking it to Idaho in June. I don't know. Karen hasn't made up her mind. But we haven't finished our journey to making it street legal. We're still missing 2 items. Tires and wheels, because I have to go to a 15-inch wheel to find one that will work well and be street legal. And the license plate light, but that's just a matter of wiring one in. I'm not going to do it until I absolutely have to. So once I spend the $1,500 for wheels and tires to put on it, then I'll worry about doing that. So now I need to show you how to check the chain wear on the 9-speed system, just so people know how it's done. And this is how you can do it on your lectric too, if you don't want to buy the chain tool. If you're not going to do the chain replacement, then you could just rely on a bike shop to do it for you. But when you ask them to change the chain, make sure they buy you an e-bike chain. It's not so much a problem on the electric XPs, but it is a problem on the premium. I suspect they use the same crappy chain on the premium that they do on their other bikes. I don't see them going out and buying a special chain for it. Add costs. They're all about making money, not spending it. So let's turn you around and point you down at the chain, and I'll try to zoom in on that instead of the roof. So a little too far. So Okay, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but we're using a 12-inch ruler, and the point is you're going to start on a pin with this mark, and you're going to see where it ends up over here. So we're going to take it and put it on the pin, in the center of the pin, and we're going to look where it lands on the 12-inch mark. Mine is almost dead on. So then again, let me find it again. It's not gonna, we're looking, if it's past the 12-inch mark, it can't be more than a 1/16 of an inch. So if you're more than a 1/16 inch past the 12-inch mark, then the chain needs to be replaced. It got greasy either way. So like, can't turn it around that way. So my chain's still good on there. I have 1,100 miles on the bike, so I would suspect that I'll get probably about 1,500 miles. I don't have any problems with skip. This is a mid-drive truck bike. Tells you something. One, the X Premium is using regular bike chain instead of a special e-bike chain, because I have 200-300 miles more than people that are complaining about it's already wore out. And they're talking about the cassettes wore out too, or the freewheel. It doesn't have a cassette. This bike Trek has a cassette on the back of it, and I could change the cassette on this in probably 5 minutes, maybe less. The biggest part is putting the wheel and tire off, and on this bike it's a quick release. I don't even have to have a tool to take the tire off or the wheel off. Brake wear on the Trek is minimum. It's doing great. The bike hasn't needed anything. Not even really an adjustment on the derailleur. It's fine. I'm using the same kind of shifter as I'm using on the XP. So I think I'm going to call that a day. I got some truck maintenance to do. I need to take and get it washed and cleaned out, get the sand out of it from our trip to the UP so we can put more sand in it later. If you have any questions about your springtime wake up, chain wear, those kinds of things, put them in the comments. I do answer the comments, as many of the people who are on this channel know. If you have any questions or want to cover another topic, send me an email. It's on my channel's information page. So that being said, I hope you're enjoying your spring. Our weather has been crappy here, so we've done more other stuff than bike riding, but I'm going to get a ride in today. I'm taking the Trek. I'm sorry, the electric's going in the garage until I get it cleaned up and ready to use and charged up. And Karen will probably want to ride her electric. She likes her electric in some ways better than her Trek, especially when riding on gravel roads. Here's another thing I should just call it, but people are asking about why they can't get their 3.0s past 20 miles an hour. Comes down to it, even if you take it and limit it, take it off and make it a class 3 bike like most people do, they're still having throttle only response to 20 miles an hour. 1.0, big guy, 24 miles an hour. Wonder what they're doing different. They changed the software is what they did. They made it so it can't go faster than 20 miles an hour if you're not pedaling. If you're pedaling, you can get it to 28 miles an hour. There's good reason for that. They're trying to follow regulations in the United States. This is a first generation bike. If I weighed less, I bet you I could get it to 28 miles an hour. And of course, I have 4-inch tires on this, and you guys, most of you are running around on 3-inch tires, so that's one other reason why it won't go quite as fast. So, like, subscribe, unlike, do whatever you think's right, and let me know. Comment below.